Hello student, in previous module you have learnt about part 1 of the history of Panchayat Raj. Now I will interact with you on the second part of Panchayat Raj. Under this module you are going to get knowledge on management of Panchayat Raj institution. In order to manage the Panchayat Raj institute, the center has been established. Hence my presentation covers account administration and centers to maintain the Panchayat Raj. The birth is a first stage in human life. The growth and sustainability depends upon the support and care extended towards the development. Like that, you have seen how the Panchayat Raj system was started in India from pre-independence till date. In order to ensure the sustainable development of Panchayat Raj system, the care, support institutions and center has been established. I think now you have understood almost the topic of lecture session. Is it? Yes, good. Organizations are not only mere structure but action systems. Action system is a structure device through which resources are mobilized and transformed by the use of certain skills and technology to produce pre-designed output. In order to promotion and development of Panchayat Raj institution, the Ministry of Panchayat Raj and Rural Development, Government of India is doing substantial work to improve the status of Panchayat Raj institutions. Rural development is not possible until and unless have a sound Panchayat Raj system with clarity of all details. Moreover, only structure according to the policies laid down. Person engaged, employed in Panchayat Raj institution should be competent, hard-working, dedicated, cultural adaptability, communicative, service-minded and committed for the common cause. In order to improve their knowledge, skill and attitude and enhance the performance for planning, implementation, supervision, monitoring and evaluating, they require training. They means the official, non-official, working in the field, they need require. Hence, training is one of the objective and tested tool for the personnel improve their performance. In this context, Government of India, the Ministry of Rural Development has established two affects institutions, one at national level and another in each state headquarter. Now you can see about accounts. Accounting part is very important. The administration should be responsible for recording, classifying and presenting the financial data on income and expenditure. The good government require transparency of accounts. It should be serve as a tool of planning, decision making and appraisal. Monthly monitoring review is a mandatory for all executing agency and is reviewed every month at state level, district level, taluk level and village level. Audit of accounts. For a sound financial administration, audit is an indispensable tool. The constitutional bill passed in 1989, 64th amendment had entrusted to Comptroller and Auditor General of India the responsibility to prescribe the forms of auditing and accounting of Panchayat Raj institution. The bill gives discretion power to the states regarding maintenance of accounts by Panchayat Raj institutions, particularly at district level and auditing of accounts. The Jilla Parishad audit consists of two categories. First one is internal and another one is external. The Chief Account Officer is totally responsible for internal auditing of all departments under three-tier system. Starts from Jilla Parishad, the block panchayat and grassroots level, gram panchayat. External audit is conducted by the Auditor General and their team annually for the Jilla Parishad. audited report action. According to the report of CAG, any person responsible for irregular expenditure indicated by the CAG should be taken for enquiry and is to be treated as the amount due from such person. Disciplinary action initiated against the accused as per the provisions of the Act. The power of supervision and monitoring are entrusted to the superior and within 3 months. Based on the position of audit of the panchayat account, the funds released directly to the panchayat. So now you can see the panchayat finance committee. Let you and me will now review the recommendations of various committees appointed from time to time about decentralization of panchayat finance and is depicted in the table. Look at the table. That table gives you the year and name of the committee, what all the recommendation given by the committee. So see the table. First, during the year 1951, Local Finance Enquiry Committee was established. So that committee gave recommendation such as unconditional assessment of 15% of land revenue raised in the panchayat area, surcharge levied on the transfer of immovable property of the panchayat. Panchayat empowered to raise their own resources by levying certain taxes in their area. Next committee is Taxation Committee, that was established in 1954. The Taxation Enquiry Committee was established in 1954. That recommendation was reserving certain taxes such as land, building, non-mechanical transport, property, advertisement, etc. Then Santanam Committee was established in 63. That committee stated that substantial growing resources which were entirely within their power to exploit and to develop. Then Ashok Mehta Committee in 1978 suggested that mobilize enough resources of their own. Then Singh v. 1986 suggested that pattern of compulsory and optional levies of the panchayat. Next, you can see the problems faced by panchayat raj institutions in funds and accounting. See the problem. There is no relationship between the budget estimate and past performances. So we can't tell. So last year we spent this much, this year we want this much. So it's not like that. It depends what kind of work we are doing. Okay. Next one is lack of power on transferring or reallocation or reappropriation of funds for both plan and non-plan sectorial allocation from one major head of accounts to another, because under one heading we are spending, in another heading we are not spending. So here it's not rule or not allowing us to spend from one another heading for one, not allowing to spend for another heading. So where we specify for that purpose only we have to spend. That is also another problem. Then PRA are not taking any commercial venture activities. There is no scope for augmentation of resources. This is another problem. Then another major problem is politics play a major role in allocation of resources to funds. Then the personnel in panchayat raj institution lacking the competency in financial management. So those who are working in the field, they doesn't know how to manage, how to keep account, all such of things. Then another thing is audit rule has become rigid and are not in tune with the objective and functioning of the modern local self-government. Due to rigidity, it is not possible to spend or carry out the task. Then another thing is lack of voucher, production of receipt, even for small items are needed for every expenditure made. Too many paperwork in accounting and legal orientation and not purpose oriented. Okay, so far you have seen about the problem in panchayat raj funding. Next you can see certain areas are exempted from the rules. So let us see the exemption to certain areas. The provisions of Constitutional Amendment Act have uniform application in the year. So whereas in certain areas they are exempted from the rules. So let us see what are all the areas. according to the schedule, that is schedule areas listed under the 5th schedule in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Orissa and Rajasthan. In the state of Nagaland, Meghalaya and Mizoram, the hill areas in the state of Manipur for which district council exists. The hill areas of districts of Darjeeling in the state of West Bengal for which Darjeeling Korak Hill Council exists. So, these are all the areas exempted from the rules. Okay, is it clear? So, now you can listen about NIRD. The Apex Institute is functioning in India meant for rural development. So, now you are going to see about NIRD. So, earlier it is called National Institute of Rural Development. Now it is called National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. Okay. During the year 1964, the two famous institutes, namely Central Institute of Study and Research in Community Development, functioned at Mizoram, and Trainers Training Institute located at Rajpur merged into one institute and named as NICD, that is National Institute of Community Development. Again, this NICD has been changed as NIRD, that's National Institute of Rural Development. From 2015 onwards, the NIRD is called as National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, in short NIRDPR. It is situated in Rajendra Nagar, the city of Hyderabad of Andhra Pradesh. In December 2008, under the Excellency, the President of India's leadership, the institute celebrated its Golden Jubilee year. I would like to ask one question. What is Golden Jubilee celebration? You may think, why this madam is asking such a silly question? You should see and think how much importance has been given by Government of India for rural development. In India, rural development is the base for everything. You have to contribute a lot for the development of rural area and enrich our nation, India. So, NIRDPR is one of the prime institute, Apex Institute in India in the field of rural development and Panchayat Raj. This institute played a significant role in the evolution of 73rd Constitutional Amendment. So, because of Constitutional Amendment, now the three-tier system is functioning effectively. So, this shows that institute played an important role. Now, I will explain to you on the vision, mission, mandate, activities, regional center and organizational structure of the institute. So, now you can listen the vision of the center. So, the first vision of the center is framing policies and programs for rural poor. Second one is ensuring democratic decentralization process, then taking efforts on making functional efficiency of rural development via Panchayat Raj institutions. So, making both official and non-official must function effectively. Then promoting technology, that is transferring the technology and creating awareness on environment. Then NIRDPR assisting the Ministry of Rural Development in formulating policies and programs. So, moreover, it acts as a storehouse of information in rural development. It is a think tank for Ministry of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. Next, you can listen the mission of the institute. The first mission is analyze and examine the factors responsible towards the progress of social well-being, economic status of rural poor, oppressed and depressed people on sustainable basis by undertaking research, training, action, consultancy and documentation. Next, they are organizing training program, workshops and seminar to the official and non-official in the field of rural development in order to enhance their knowledge, skills and attitude for the development of rural poor. Next, mandatory. See, in university, you have seen as a teacher how many hours we have to take class. Like that, the center has to carry out certain tasks, that is called mandatory. So, what is the mandatory for NI or DPD? So, mandatory to NI or DPR is to conduct training programs, workshop, seminar, conference to the rural development functionaries at senior and middle level, then disseminating information by documenting reports, journals, periodic and books, then transfer of technology by establishing parks. Then look at the picture. Here you can see what all the facilities are available in the center, the National Civil Center meant for rural development. So, there they are giving national level training, international level training, all such of training. So, there they have provided A class, that is all sorts of facilities, well equipped conference hall, computer labs with all sorts of facilities, furnished guest house, health center, gymnasium, swimming pool and community hall, library, etc., etc. So, see this from the picture. Next, you can see the major activity of the institute is a training and also involved in curriculum designing, preparation of training manuals and models and guidelines for rural development programs. Then trainers training program, outreach of campus and regional and international program. Then as the guidance of Government of India, the institute is supporting state government to strengthen and establish State Institute of Rural Development for research and training. So, in India at present 28 SARD and 90 extension training centers are functioning. Financial support for the institute, 10%, that is 100% of financial assistance under plan and non-plan provided by the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India to the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. Then NIRD, National Level Institute, is situated in one area. So, whereas people residing in Northeast is not possible to come to Hyderabad. So, for that reason the ministry has established regional center. So, now you can listen about regional center. In order to cater the needs of Northeast region and Eastern region, the regional center has been established. So, in Guwahati during the year 1983 in Assam, one regional center meant for Northeast is established. That another center in 2000, that is established in Patna. That center cover Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. Then in Jaipur during the year 2010, NIRD Center for Rural Employment and Livelihood Studies has been established. Now look at the flow chart that shows the structure and organization of National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj. So, the institute managed by two council. It is known as General Council and Executive Council. General Council is constituted of 47 members. The President of General Council is Union Ministry of Rural Development, whereas General Council is responsible for the policy of the institute. The Executive Council is responsible for administration and management of the institute. Executive Council is constituted of 14 members. The Union Ministry for Rural Development is the chairman. The head of the institute is Director General. The Director General is the CEO of the institute. DG or CEO is responsible for management of the center. Then DG is assisted by Deputy Director General, then Finance Advisor, Registrar and Director for Administration with a multidisciplinary faculty. All the programs are planned with the advice, guidance and recommendation of academic as well as research advisory. It is amazing to view the infrastructure established at the institute in order to ensure the conducive atmosphere for effective results and positive changes among the trainees and participants and create positive self-image at national and international level with global standard. So far you have seen about NIRD. Now you can listen about State Institute of Rural Development. In India, you know how many states are there. In each state we have State Institute of Rural Development. State Institute of Rural Development is an autonomous organization functioning under Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Department, government of concerned state. It is an apex body meant for conducting training, research, providing consultancy for Panchayat Raj and rural development. It was established in 1961 and recognized autonomous status in 1990. Objective of institute is assisting state government in policy formulation, offering fellowship, prizes, scholarship and stipend in furtherance of objective of the society, collaborate with other institute, association and society in India and abroad. Extend the service, information, then preparing and publication of rural development work. Provide practical solutions to various rural development programs. Establish school for study and orientation training and institution research and evaluation. Undertake as well as assist in organizing, training, research and consultancy in collaboration with universities and training institute, whether aided by government or established by government. In each state, SARD is functioning like NIRD. SARD is governed and managed by governing body and executive committee. So now you can see the flow chart. The flow chart shows how the SARD is functioning. Okay, you can see the flow chart. That gives you how it is functioning. As per the guidance of Ministry of Rural Development and Ministry of Panchayat Raj, Government of India, SARD should organize training on specific topics. Main focus is building the capacity of elected representative of rural areas, that is officials and non-official working in Panchayat Raj department. You cannot separate the words rural development and Panchayat Raj. Without Panchayat involvement, there is no rural development. Vice versa, Panchayat Raj born out of rural development. If there is no development, no place for Panchayat Raj. Hence, you may understood rural development and Panchayat Raj is head with human body. Without head, no value for human body. Now, look at the chart that shows the thrust areas of SARD. These are all the thrust areas of SARD. So, now I am going to discuss with you on District Rural Development Agency. First, you can see the history of Rural Development Agency. In order to carry the Community Development Program in 1952, the few administrative which was created and called as block during second 5-year plan National Extension Service, block were emerged during fourth 5-year period. The government felt majority of rural poor not realized the advantages of green revolutions of small farmers, marginal farmers and again rural coolies. Since in 1969, pilot project launched in 69 in secured districts established Small Farmers Development Agency. So earlier it is called Small Farmers Development Agency. So District Rural Development Agency was established in 1999. So keep it in your mind, DRDA was established in 1999. The principal organ to take care of rural development at district level is known as DRDA. DRDA is responsible for implementation of rural development programs. Do you know the agency meant for rural development? Yes or no? Good, very good. Let me discuss with you on the agency meant for rural development. It is Rural Development Agency. DRDA acts as a catalyst in the field of rural development. It provides support and acting and facilitating organization for panchayat at various levels. It established linkage between panchayat from state to center. DRDA watches the performance of block and village panchayat, whether they are utilizing the fund effectively for the implementation of various poverty alleviation programs. It coordinates with the line department, NGOs, bankers, educational institutions, research institutions, panchayat at all level and community and poor in order to execute anti-poverty program. District Collector is the official chairman and Jilla Parishad chairman is a non-official. of DRDA. Coordinating and supervising survey about BPL beneficiary, that is below poverty line beneficiary, for various rural development program, conducting various research for both state and central government such as evaluation and action research. So, all these are program functions of DRDA. So, DRDA is registered under Society Registration Act. The account of DRDA is maintained separately. Any account, it should not be merged with Jilla Parishad account. So, now you can see the chart that gives you who are all functioning under DRDA. Then what all the departments are there. The table gives you the entire detail about Panchayat Raj. Okay, is it clear? Now I conclude my session. So far you have heard about NIRDP, SARD, DRDA. Being specialist in the field of rural development and extension education, you have to go to NIRDP and enhance your capacity as well as personnel in rural development and make utilize the expertise of DRDA for rural development and create healthy, wealthy system of local governance, that is smart governance. You can contribute a lot to create povertyless or free rural India. It is in your hand, you have to take effort.